Right, hello everyone. Welcome to Sunday night with Hilly, and we are here for HRF1, of course, and short quality 50% race, and we are Zandvoort, Netherlands, and so perfectly timed time to be inviting Brian in, who's a new driver to HRF1, although I've known him for some time. And as you can tell by his flag on the screen, he is Dutch. So let's get him in. Have a chat. Hello, Steve. Thanks for joining, buddy. And here we go. Right, Brian.
Hello.
Hello.
Evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I am good, man.
Good to hear. Now, have you included your audio?
Yes,
You
I
have. You ticked
have
your box.
indeed. The box has been ticked.
Excellent news. Excellent. Well, welcome, mate. First time doing a pre-quali interview with you. Obviously, you are new to the league, although you already have your first win, of course. At the brand new Las Vegas circuit. So, how was that for you?
Well, obviously, it's a few weeks on now, but it was very nice to immediately join and come win, and
Yeah.
hopefully, I can keep the streak going of joining in and winning.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it was a really good race at Las Vegas as well, wasn't it? It was. I've done a couple since, and they haven't gone so well. So they've had some safety cars. I drove in one of them as well, and managed to retire by hitting the wall at 2 miles an hour. They all fell off. Yeah, that was fun. But yeah, in a way, you are full time now, so you've got a seat. So we hopefully see you every week, as long as you're able, of course.
Yeah, you won't see me next week because I'll be on holiday.
Oh,
But the week after that, I'll be there full time.
excellent. Where are you going?
I'm going somewhere in the middle of the Netherlands. It's called the Veluwe. Dutchies will know where it is, and that's where I'll be spending my week of holiday.
Nice, nice. That's a home holiday for you. That's
Yes.
um, excellent. Okay. Yeah, Steve's just letting us know there's quite a bad echo, but I think that's we had that in the
Yeah, I
face-to-face
don't,
interview, didn't we?
I don't know why that's there. It might be because my headphones are maybe too loud and it's just picking you up from like a distance.
Yeah, might be.
And otherwise, I just don't know what it is. I've put you on 40 for me now, so hopefully that's better.
Okay. Um, I can hear a tiny echo in my ear. I don't. I can barely hear it, to be honest. But well, maybe some of the guys on the stream can let us know if it's any better. But in a way, Ryan. In a way. What we do, I don't. Have you managed to watch any of the HRF1 streams up to now?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of the one where I raced in. Heard you guys do a little quiz, and
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
that's
So you know where this
all
is
I've
going then.
heard of so far. Yeah.
Right. So here we go. This is going to be Brian's quiz, and it's 5 questions, five general. Well, not really general knowledge because they got different categories, but um,
Yeah.
I've chosen five. I've tried to make it not too UK based, so um, it's so to try and make it fair for you. So we're going to start off. It's so basically we do an easier question, a slightly harder question, a multiple choice question, a video game question, and then a like something that's been in news this week question. Okay, so
All right.
your easy question is what is the capital city of Argentina?
Buenos Aires, I
Yes,
think.
Buenos Aires. Excellent.
Yes.
Well done. Good start. Okay, your slightly harder question then is which 2001 movie was the first to win the Best Animated Feature Movie at the Oscars?
2001.
Yeah,
I wasn't even
2001.
born back
Yeah,
then.
all right, mate. All right.
Uh,
I was 17. Come on, it's just like
uh, uh, was it? Surely it's either Toy Story or what's it called? Monsters Inc. But I'm leaning towards one of the Toy Stories.
Right. Have a guess. Have a guess. Go on.
Uh, Toy Story 2.
Toy Story 2.
That's my
Um,
guess.
okay. No, it was none of the Toy Stories. I was just playing with you there.
Ah,
It was Shrek. Um,
oh, Shrek.
so
Is
yeah,
Shrek old?
I know
Oh my god.
2001, right? I just like
Wow.
really that long ago. Yeah, 22 years old. First
Alright.
Shrek movie. Incredible, isn't it? But yeah, that was the first year. 2001 was the first year that category was held at the Oscars. Um,
Oh,
so yeah, that's interesting in a way. Your
didn't
multiple
know
choice
that.
question. What is the most visited tourist attraction in the world? Is it A, the Eiffel Tower, B, the Statue of Liberty, C, the Great Wall of China, or D, the Colosseum in Rome?
I don't think it's the Statue of Liberty because it's America and it's just too far to travel for the general people.
Yeah.
So that's at least one gone. I think the most viable to me would be the Colosseum
Okay.
in
Ooh.
Rome.
Um, is that your final answer? Is as it's multiple choice like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? I feel like I've got to ask. Is that your final answer?
Uh, Something me says me it's not right.
No, 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 I'm not trying to sway
But
anyone
yes,
in
I'm
any
gonna I'm
direction.
gonna go for it. Final answer, the Colosseum.
Okay. Do do do. Um,
Hmm.
now the actual answer was the Eiffel Tower in Paris.
Ah,
So,
I've known to be honest.
it's the only one I have been to out of the four. In fact, Paris is the only place I've ever been that's not in England. So yeah, yeah, there you
Never
go.
been there.
Um, okay, we are on to question number 4, which is the video game question. So obviously you play your Formula One, but do you play other games?
Yeah, I play FIFA, obviously, and I play some GTA and Football Manager. I've recently absolutely delved my life into and wasted every single minute of my day with all the stress that comes with it.
Taking is it? I've forgotten which team it is now. Is it? It's not Eindhoven, is it? It's is it Feyenoord?
Yes,
Yes, taking
still
Feyenoord to
remembers.
Champions League glory. Um,
Yeah, hopefully.
okay, anyway, your video game question is: which video game franchise has racked up over $1 billion in lawsuits?
Lawsuits.
Yeah,
Oh my god. If it.
so by being sued, basically.
Uh, nah, surely not GTA.
Is that your
Can't
final
be.
answer?
Uh, is it? Is it Fortnite?
Well,
Just,
look, you
just
said two.
random
You've said
thought.
two. So you've said two. So Grand Theft Auto or Fortnite? Which one are you going to go with?
Is it? I think Fortnite.
Oh, Brian, it's Grand Theft Auto.
Oh
Ah.
no! Yeah, I was like Grand Theft Auto. Surely not.
Oh, I
It's
think
a
the clue
controversial
probably would have
game,
been in
but
franchise there, because I don't
yeah,
think you could call Fortnite a franchise yet as such.
yeah,
Um,
true.
but yeah. Unlucky. And actually, I'm going to be really nice, and I'm going to give you half a point for that. So
Yes.
there we go.
One
Right.
and a half. Let's go.
Right. The news this week. This is going to be difficult, mate. If I'm honest. Because it will have been in the BBC News this week, which is UK, obviously.
Ah.
So, but it is something that will affect everybody in the world. So, okay, this month is going to see not one but two full moons. But what type of moon will they be?
Blood Moon, I think.
A what? Sorry.
Like blood. Red, like
Oh,
blood red
blood
moon.
moon.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I feel so mean, but no, it's not Blood Moon. But you're so on the right tracks. Um,
Ah, man.
they're blue moons. They're going to be blue moons. So again, I
Manchester
feel
City moons.
yeah. Well, no, we won't say that. That's um. I feel mean because that was a really difficult question. So again, I'm going to award you half a point on that because you were
Yes.
totally on the right sort of wavelength. It was just a wrong color you've gone with, really.
We
So
have made 2 points. Let's
yeah,
go.
absolutely. So you are up to 2 points. I will add you onto the leaderboard. I think that will put you actually in joint second. So I think you're
Wait,
doing all
what?
right there. Yeah,
Really?
we've not done many yet, mine, but
Ah,
yeah,
fair enough.
Massey's leading the way, but he's not a full time driver anymore. He's given his seats up, so I don't know where to keep it. Yeah, I probably will keep him on the leaderboard, but um, anyway, I'm sure there'll be some clever clogs that comes along and gets all five later in the season. So we'll
Yeah.
see. All right, then, mate. That is all the questions done. Other than that, you're at your home Grand Prix, so enjoy it. Old
Thank you.
Zandvoort, all the Orange Army are out for you tonight, Brian. Not Max Verstappen. They are there for you.
No pressure.
So it's Brian's Barmy Army, and anyway, mate, good luck. I know there is
Yeah,
a
thank
very
you.
good chance of seeing you on podium at the end, so I may well be talking to you later. But regardless, good luck, mate, and
Yeah, thank you, man.
see how you go.
And, see you later.
See you later, man. Bye. There you go, guys. That was Rohal Bryan. Just Brian, I call him. Most people call him. I think he did really well on the quiz, actually. I knew that wouldn't be easy for him, so. Maybe I'm going a bit soft in my old age, giving him 2 half a points there, but I think he deserved them. That was, especially that moon one. I thought that was really difficult. So many different types of moons, and I think only 2 of them are named after colours, and he went for the wrong one. So I think he's done pretty well there. Anyway, we are with Corey. So nobody on a hot lap just yet, but Corey was out first. Evening, Whoopi. I hope you're well, my friend, and maybe I'll be talking to you later as well. I'm expecting a little influx of viewers later in the race today because there's a big race going on. Team which Carsey is involved in, so that's going to be unfortunately attracting a lot of my viewers away to that. But they started their qualifying at 7, so hopefully we'll get a load of viewers joining the race at some point. But in a way, thank you for those of you that have joined. So Corey, then, here at Zandvoort, what sort of time can he put up first time round? He's been driving well recently as Corey, but not just in HRF1 but in WAOF1 as well, and yeah, doing very well recently. So let's see how we can manage. So Zandvoort, what can you say about Zandvoort? The banking corners are very interesting around here. That's something that's a bit different to other tracks. But other than that, it's a really tight, difficult track. It's definitely a driver's track. It's difficult to navigate. There's a few curbs on it that may kill you if you use them. It's a bit too hard, but here comes Corey anyway. Gets us started with a 110.5, which isn't bad. The car behind him's pitted. That was too long, so he's back to the pits. We've got a Haas on its way round, if I can find them. There they are. It's Chris on the medium tyre. He goes 110.5. Then actually, let's go to Ronaldo then. He's on his way to the line. Gunnar goes fastest, 109.9. Ronaldo 112.7. Craig 111.3. That's the driver that was alongside Ronaldo, as you saw at the end there. Volungis 110.3. Who else we got then? Gaz is on his way round. There's a few drivers on the way round. Chips 110.8. Monsters goes 110.5 and into P4. That's D-Bomb going fastest, 109.8. Gaza beats it though with a 109.7. It's tight, very tight at the moment. Riding very, very early on. Crawford on debut tonight. Crawford, at least for the Sundays anyway. I don't know if he's driven on Mondays, but on debut for the Sundays. There is Brian in the McLaren. So he's joined Hunter, so that's become a very strong constructor for the rest of the season, as long as they both stay. So Steve then, my fellow commentator who does the Monday nights here in HRF1. Cross line 112.2. And Bowden now into the final corner. Right, teammate for the evening, Lycorius is ahead of him. I didn't think Lycorius was going to be driving tonight. He must have changed his sign up quite late on. But always good to see him out, and it means we've got a full grid as well, which we weren't going to have. We were going to be one short, so great news. We'll go to Lycorius. This is the only one on the hot lap, mate. So let's see how he gets on. You can have a better view of this Zandvoort circuit. The circuit's very much remained the same to 22. Really, I can't think of any changes off the top of my head. But oh, actually, no, I do remember there is one change. The DRS zone for the pit straight is activated just before the final corner rather than just after. So I think, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I think it might be the only DRS zone that actually goes through a corner now on the calendar. I may well be wrong on that, but at least a proper corner like this in a way. So there might be some that go through little what are classed as corners in F1 terms, but they're just little kinks in the road. But that's definitely a corner. Goes into P7 anyway, like Lycorius 110.0. So the Ferrari's off to a good start with Bowden in P3 as well. There's Blanche. His first attempt of the night, although he has been out previously but pitted. No, it's the second attempt actually. No, he pitted at the end of the salt lap last time. Wasn't happy with it. But here he comes. 108.8 goes fastest. Just ahead of Brian, who did a 108.9. Jacko out there 110.6. And we've got Hunter on an out lap in the other McLaren. He's just coming around to start a lap. So let's do the hilly hot lap then with the ex-Hunter, the lead owner. HRF1, DRS open, we head over the line into turn 1. But late braking, late turning on turn 1 just to open up the corner and allows us to get on the power that little bit earlier. Then flat out through turn 2, little lift into turn 3, but get on the power as quick as you can. And late brake into the hairpin, multiple ways to take that hairpin. Turn 5 is just a kink in a row. Turn 6 very much the same. This is all flat out through here. 7's the same as well. Turn 8 then ticking a lot faster than you could last year without spinning it round. So then into this difficult right-hander. Don't use too much of the inside curve there. You can use plenty of this one and open up steering, get on the power, just take you down to the next hairpin. And quite a fast hairpin really in terms of speeds. This is a DRS zone, a very short one though, and doesn't lead to a good overtaking opportunity. It's best used as a way of getting onto the gearbox of the car ahead because of the, I don't really call it a chicane, it's a right-hander that goes very quickly into a left, almost hairpin again, and then onto a corner. It can be a little bit blind sometimes, so be a bit careful. DRS open before the final corner, and the final corner is taken with the rear wing open. As I say, it's very unusual. That's a 110.1 for Hunter. Did put in P11, but somebody else has jumped up, so down to P12 now. Let's go to Whoopi, who is out there as well. Down in the hairpin that will take us into the second DRS zone. See what I mean about this right-left. It's a very unusual corner in a way. It kind of is a chicane, but it's just very strange. I don't really know how to sort of explain that corner. There's definitely nothing else like it on the F1 calendars, which is great. So anyway, Whoopi manages a 109.6. That puts in P5 for the moment. Who else we got out there at the moment then? Oh, Crawford. Oh, that wasn't him that went into P4. Who's gone up? Gaza. Gaza's gone up to P3 on a 109.2. Crawford improving, yeah, he's 3 tenths up. Set to 1. Yeah, oh, yeah, I think catching that outside curve there on entry just put him off. He's ended up running wide. Controlled the mistake well though, and will look to fight another day. He puts the luggage just as he crosses the line and improves by 8.5 tenths up to P7 on a 109.5. Glorious. But enough, I was mentioning the other race that is going on tonight, that may be making some like usual viewers for Sunday nights. But they're also racing at Zandvoort, funny enough, so we are actually at the same track. What I can tell you though is Carsey was practicing for tonight's race. It's actually serving a qualifying ban for his team. Despite in the short qualifying practice setting a 107.9, which is an insane lap. They still elected to use him as the one who was served the quali ban, which must surely suggest that they've got some unbelievably fast drivers in that team. This is Monsters. Nah, he's 1.6 down. What about Steve? How's he going? Oh, it validates out the penultimate corner. Is he gonna surely pit? I would have thought, yeah. So, who else we got? Boulange is driving slowly. Longest, no, he's driving slowly. Clements. Yeah, Clements is on a lap. He's 3 tenths up. So PB at the moment with 110.0. I think he was very late sign up, so probably didn't get much in the way of practicing. But it's certainly a track you need to practice this one if you're going to be racing it. It's not, you know, it's not like Bahrain or something that you've done for so many years that you can just turn up and do it. You need to get your eye in here. But that puts Aston Martin in P5 and P6 as Clements does a 109.4. Who else we got then? Like, oh yes, yeah, it's chilling slightly up and set to 1. Oh, it's now sat in 7 and 13 after the very good start they had. It's improved slightly through set to 1 and set to 2 tenths up. It's very tight and that would take him up sort of around Chris in P11, so there's a little jump between Chris in 11 and D-Bomb in 10 of 2 tenths. Of that, it's very, very tight. Oh, and Lycoris decides to opt out of the lap and into the pits. And she lost some time there. Yes, he mentions in P11, he's on a lap as well, so he was also showing slightly up in set to 1. Nice line through the hairpin there. Slightly scared by the McLaren, it looked like he was going to move right for a moment there. Stayed left, thank goodness. He's a little bit wide in the first part of the right-left. That will affect his line through the left-hander. Late apex right-hander. You've got to take the speed through. You've got to be willing to push the speed through, and you've just got to trust your car to stay on track despite having DRS open. But through the final corner, and Chris goes into P4. And he's another driver who's been showing exceptional form recently. Crawford up a couple of tenths, we set to 1, so we'll stick with him. On P6 now, Crawford, as some of the others have been putting in slightly better times. Oh, one thing you don't want to do there is hit the inside curve, and I suspect he's backed out actually. So only a couple of attempts down there, but yeah, he's completely backed out, so we can move on. You've already said that time, I believe, so Corey is next, P12, he's half a second up. Oh no, sorry, no he's not, that's was an old timing, so 5 thousandths up through set to 1. That's the end of sector 2 now, and he's over 10th and a half up. Won't actually be enough to gain any places. He needs to find more through the final sector. There's just a gap there between 11 and 12. There's a 4/10 gap. Other than that, it's really tight through the field. As Corey improves by almost 2/10, so it tightens things up a little bit. A little bit disappointed not to gain any places when he sees the improvement in time. Okay, down in the first sector. Yellow position, and get out of the way as Brian goes fastest. He takes provisional pole with 108.723. Very nice lap indeed. Malcolm gets out the way of the other. We just noticed that Chips has finished. Sorry, Chips, I've not realised that you've done that. Oh, Craig into the pits, so not happy with his lap. And yeah, he may have made a good decision there, Craig. And he may have just about. He should be able to just about get in and out again. We're having pitted there, but mistake. Yeah, he's a second and a half down. That mistake. So, anyone else we can find? Anybody showing us up? No. Gazzo's way further up in qualifying than he's been in recent times. Great to see. And into the pits he goes, so not improving then. He's already finished his lap, as we know, so he's back to the pits now. Boulange is a second down, so he's presumably going to cool down and maybe go again. Hello, Chips, thanks for joining the stream. Oh, you locked up into a wall. Okay, sorry, man. I hadn't even noticed that your name had gone out. That went too early in qualifying, because shows my awareness. And that's why I'm commentating, not on the track. Columbus attempts up sector 2. Doesn't sound like much, but actually that potentially could be P4 as Corey retires out in the pits. He's managed to carry that improvement through. He should go P4 and improves. Yeah, he does indeed go P4, improves by a quarter of a second. A nice improvement from Blungus that sees him near the front. Wilford not improving. Bowden is off track. Issues, rejoins nice and safely. Few on out laps. Let's see. Lanconis there will be heading to the pits. Hunter. Nice. Oh no, he is on a lap, but he looks it. It's quicker than your time trial. Excellent. Well done, mate. It's always nice when you do that. It's actually much more likely this year. It's only something I became aware of over the last week, but there is always Boulange goes fastest and nicks your pole, Brian. 108.579. Very nice lap from Boulange. But yeah, I've only learned in the last week that it's actually likely that you will go faster on this year's game than actual qualifying than time trial. Because of the fuel loads. If you notice in time trial this year, the fuel load's higher than it was. Done like 6 laps or something, stupid like that. Yeah, anyway, here's Chaco. No, hang on, Chaco. Yeah, money. Yeah. Chaco. And improves 77,000, stays P18. Did lose a bit of time in the final sector there. The longest invalidated. Crawford's round. So no one anywhere near him, so just needs to spin it back round. Emmett's not improving. Rookie is improving. Couple of attempts. Again, that could be a decent gain. If we can find a little bit more. 108.9 goes up to P3. So very nice improvement from Rookie. A lot of time in the final sector. No, Crawford wasn't improving. Deep on overline, 109.6. He's in P11. And I think that's it, because Crawford, who's not actually finished yet, well, yeah, it's already over his time, so he's way down and just making his way back, I believe. So, yeah, well, very nicely done, very good qualifying session, very competitive. 108.579 takes pole position for Boulange, and a very, very good lap. And Crawford kindly retires rather than making us wait for his car to be pushed back in. There you are. It's what he's saying. He's way better than his time trial lap as well. So that's two of you there. I wouldn't be surprised there's a few more through the grid. So there we go. I wonder if Boulange is the same as well. So Boulange on pole. Brian at his home Grand Prix will take P2, which the Orange Barmy Army, Brian's Barmy Army, the Orange Brigade, will be very happy with. Woofy, Chris, and Gazar 3, 4, and 5. Then for Lungus, Gunnar, Crawford, Kevin Bowden. Gunnar a little bit further down than he has been in recent times in P7, so it'll be interesting to see how he starts. D-Bomb P11, Corey P12, Lycorius 13, Hunter 14, Monsters 15, Craig, Chip 16 and 17, Checo, Steve, and Ronaldo feel out the rest of the grid. So well done, guys. It's a very good qualifying. Let's hope the race is much the same. As well, it's dry. That's the good news. The not so good news is that it looks very, very dark and dingy, dull in the sky. Any drivers listening to the stream, please do not ready up. Wait for an admin. There will be a break this week, unlike last week, which I completely forgot because we were going into sprint race. But anyway, guys, as always, I need to grab myself a coffee, so I will be back shortly for the race starts, and I'll see you then. Okay, guys, back with you for some Zandvoort action in Holland or the Netherlands. And Brian on his home Grand Prix, starting P2, beside Boulange on the front row on pole position. So Very exceptional lap, in fact, I would say, from Boulange. Very nicely done. Just gonna have a little gander in the Discord, see if I can spot anything going on in there. Let's have a look, see. Yeah, just a reminder, no formation laps, so the lights are on, and out they go, and away we go in Netherlands, Zandvoort, and it looks like Brian gets off to a good start. He's going to have a run into turn 1 here on Boulange. It looks like Boulange managed to hang it around the outside and retain P1 to the hairpin. Gets very close to the back of Brian, but does avoid him. And we continue on. We do have a yellow flag. It looks like it's Monsters at the back then, as he lost his wing. No, he's still got his wing and he's got both his end plates, so all good there. We can continue on. And so far then, Gaz up one, Lungis up one. Chris has lost a couple of places, but then a whole group of drivers that stayed where they started. Hunter's gained one, Lycorius lost one, so they swapped round. Hunter's just got past Corey. That's actually the battle you can see there on your screen. So the McLaren looks like he's coming out on top, and that is Hunter. Corey's coming under a bit of attack from Lycorius as well. He's going to have the outside here, and Corey leaves him plenty of room. Nicely done. And through goes Lycorius. Corey looks like he might be having a little look back up into turn 1, but folds in behind, and that is decided. So nicely done from those two, as the front runners still going around. Boulange P1, Brian P2, Whoopi P3 as they started. Let's take the opportunity then to have a look at the tyres. So now, okay, so Brian started on the softs to try and get off the line a bit better, which he did do, but Boulange held the lead very nicely around the outside of turn 1, and he started on the medium tyres. So mediums for Boulange, softs for Brian, Whoopi, Gaza, mediums for Lungis, Chris, Crawford. Gunnar is the top hard tyre runner in P8, and Clements and D-Bomb. Corey, Chips, and Steve actually all starting on the hards. Oh, Gunnar's dropping down. Gunnar's dropping. Oh, let's hit the right left. Oh, that makes me worry a little bit. That's an unusual place for him to lose it himself. Doesn't appear to have any obvious signs of damage. He's having a little bit of a moment through the final corner, although I think there was gravel, so I think he's been over the gravel, and that's but the tyre temps are a bit messed up as well. So, but he's recovered in a way, and he'll get going again. He knows there's a long way to go. 36 laps of this Zandvoort circuit is grueling at the best of times. So, stick with the leaders for now as they continue to battle. He launched them very nicely, holding Brian off at the moment. Brian bound to have a little bit of an advantage in these early stages with those lovely soft tyres. That will gradually phase away, but as well, any drivers will know, it's incredibly difficult to get out of the 1 second car behind you in this game, due to the rather overpowered nature of DRS. Not the biggest DRS track here though, although this zone here that takes you around the final corner and onto the pit straight is a big one, and you would fancy that Brian. No, I think he's probably going to run out of tarmac here. Yeah, he does, and just holds behind. The reason he's held behind there, guys, if he goes to the inside and tries to make a move there, Boulange wouldn't be expecting it. He's too far back, so Boulange wouldn't be expecting it and may well turn in, which he'd be perfectly entitled to do because it's his corner. So Brian absolutely right on that occasion, just to hold off and go another lap. Dropping back a little bit. He has fallen out of the 1 second. Got Gaza. Oh, Gaza's going to have a look to the inside. He makes a mistake. Gaza throws it up the inside, takes full advantage. And into P3 goes Gaza, who enjoying fruits of a much better qualifying this week. He looked like he put the effort in on the time trial or something. I know his practice had been affected, Gaza, because something had gone on in work. I think he'd been promoted or something in work, and so work was taking up a lot more time than it used to. But Brian to the inside, then a Boulange, this time with the DRS, a comfortable move. Now, has Brian still got enough in those tyres to see if he can try and move away? Whoopi also getting past Gaza on that pit straight as well. Plenty going on. Bruno now getting past Steve. That is into turn 1. And Bruno looks to start his recovery. He's back into P17. I'm sure he will move on up throughout the race. So, top guys then. Just separated out a little bit. So these top two, 2.3 seconds ahead of Whoopi and Gaza. And right now, quite honestly, Blanche wouldn't be too upset to be overtaken by Brian there. He knows Brian's on the soft tyre. If he can just follow behind Brian, leeching pretty much off of his DRS. And he's looking like he's probably close enough here that he's likely to get a run back on Brian. Try and do it too early, that's it. So he's moved to the outside, what will be the outside of turn 1, but he's going to have it done way before they reach turn 1. And there we go on that one. Gaza back ahead of Whoopi as well. And there's multiple overtakes going on here. Wilford and Bowden both getting ahead of Lungis, who drops to P8. It's the problem, if you're the car at the front of a little train like this, it becomes so vulnerable. It's I know we're only 6 laps in. I don't want to put a curse on anything, but the driving so far is absolutely outstanding. Once again from HRF1, I have to say. So don't let them hit you. Oh god. Oh, commentator's curse at its best. Absolutely ridiculous. Oh, Bowden's going to hate me when he watches that back later on. He's going to be blaming the commentator. It's not my fault, Bowden. I just commentating. I don't actually have an effect on what's happening on track. Oh dear, Crawford gets out of sorts trying to get... He sort of run his right wheel was off track. He's hit Hunter a little bit. I don't think there's any damage caused. So he was slightly out of control of his car at that point in a way. His move was made there. I'm losing a little bit where I am. Kemmins is now the top hard tyre runner, so maybe go for later in the race. He has Lungus on him. So the hard tyre starters just want this race to go on. They don't want to see a sudden yellow flag for a safety car or anything like that. Bowden had to make his way to the pits, by the way. He was spun right in the middle of the road, so I wouldn't be shocked if he perhaps got hit as the other cars were coming round and needed a new front wing. So, on to the hard tyre. There seems to be a much smaller difference between the tyres in this year's game, pace-wise, and even longevity-wise, the mediums and the hards. Nowhere near as different as they were on last year's game, but here's a run for Chris. He goes up the inside of Gaza for turn 1. There's a head going into the corner and retains that overtake through turn 1 and down through the hairpin. Now it will be his turn to see if he can maybe just separate himself out a little bit. So it's so difficult to do around here. Boulange is leading now, by the way, but again, Brian, it's sort of reversed round now. The mediums by now should be better than the soft tyres. They should be quicker. So the roles are kind of reversed now, and Brian could do a lot worse than being stuck on the back of the leader at this point. Just leashing off the DRS. Save your energy. Just use the DRS to stay on the back of them. And what you could say is, when you get to the point where you just cannot stay with them anymore, perhaps that's the point you pit, I guess, with a new tyre and try an undercut. It's, I think it'll be a one-stop. I don't think we're going to be seeing the guys who started on softs trying to two-stop here. I'm expecting those guys to pit to hards when they do pit. It might be mediums though, they might go soft-medium. I know last year though, Zandvoort was really quite stressful on the tyres, but these guys... Oh, Brian's left the session. Oh, Brian. Let's get him back in as quick as we can. So, what have we just seen happen there, by the way? Gaz has gotten back past Chris for P4. That is Woofy that's right on the back of them as well. So, Sops may not be quite as good now, but they're still performing. They are still doing alright. Launch is being able now to take advantage of that disconnect from Brian, which is going to allow him to gap him. At some point, there is going to be a moment where Brian gets back into this. He will be undercutting Boulange at some point, but he'd have loved to have been doing that from directly behind him. Don't know why he's not joined back. Let's send another invite. Maybe he had to come completely off the game and get back in. Oh, there he is. There he is. He's back in. So his car should solidify at some point very soon. Gap now 2.4 as it stands. So Brian just needs to keep his head. He's still in P2, which is, after a desync, is pretty impressive. And we've got yellow flags. It's Ronaldo's round towards the end of the lap. Can't see any obvious signs of damage to him. He's still quite comfortably on the lead lap, so should just recover it and continue on. Right, back to these guys who... I'm going to take us down a little bit to the battle, at least the battle for P9. So, Lycorius in the Ferrari leads this group. Hunter just behind him. That's Ronaldo. That's a safety car. Oh, he's not even out. Why? Oh, he's lost his front wing. The game has brought out a safety car for a lost front wing. So frustrating. Just check the settings a second. I'm sure we're on reduced, but I just want to double check it. Yeah, we are. Look, reduced safety car, standard reduced on damage. So, I mean, the only thing you could do is maybe reduce the car damage, but it's frustrating for everybody, that. I know, Brian, the safety cars come out and sort of saved you here, but yeah. At least you didn't actually lose any places. You only lost down to P3 because Chemits has stayed out for some unknown reason. Well, not unknown reason, he's decided to take track position, but he's got 10 laps of wear on those hards, which, okay, 10 laps on a set of hards is not a large amount for a set of hard tyres, but in terms of pace, these guys on the fresh tyres are going to be so much faster. Making it very hard for him to sort of take any real advantage off of this safety car, but frustrating to have a safety car out though when, you know, I know Ronaldo's had an incident, but all he did was lose his wing. He's not out the race or anything like that. He's just lost his wing. It's just so frustrating for the drivers. For us watching as well, let's not forget. So, A good race so far. The overtakes have been good and clean. Or at least the ones we've seen have been. So the only drivers not to have pitted are Kemmons and Steve. So both of those guys have decided to take some track position instead. Just have a look. Bowden's penalty is a 5-second penalty. So I wouldn't be too shocked to see him in the end of this lap to serve the 5 seconds. Well, let's put it this way, if I was his manager, I'd be saying get in the end of this lap and serve that 5 seconds. Thing is, he's probably going to pit again yet, Bowden, but don't need to be pitting and serving a 5-second penalty when you could serve it here, so he definitely should pit. He's only got Monsters and Ronaldo behind him. Probably will lose both of those places, but oh no, it's in this lap! Well, I'm shocked. I am absolutely shocked. Ronaldo is absolutely nowhere near. It usually waits for the final car. I really can't believe that the safety car is in this lap. But back to the front runners as Clements gets it going. Boulonge follows and is looking to see if we can have a little look into turn 1. Much newer tyres. Brian as well is having a little look up the inside, which should get much better traction. But Boulonge doesn't get a very good exit, and Brian found himself behind him. Brian takes the higher line through the hairpin. Brilliant racing from these three. At the moment, he just seemed every time Brian got a chance, he just seemed to get boxed in a little bit. At the moment, Clements has managed to hold on to that position. He is still leading this race, but he is under all sorts of attack, and you can see there he's clearly struggling compared to those around him. So Boulonge does get the move done. Brian follows through this time and takes P2, so these two are going to be back to battling at the front. Whoopi and Gaz are side by side coming out of the hairpin there, and Gaza has to cede position, and Whoopi goes through into P4, and he will now be looking to get past Clements. So, yeah. Oh, sorry, no, that's Chris is now getting involved as well and trying to get past Gaza as they go into the hairpin. It looks like Chris has got that done. Has he? Still side by side a little bit. Gaza looks like he gets squeezed out a little bit, and that allows D-Bomb to get past him as well. As Ronaldo's having some trouble at the same turn as well. Gunnar makes up another place. He's up to P13 now, and he decided to box to the mediums to give himself a tyre advantage for this next stint of the race. Hunter gets ahead of Lycorius, who looks like he's under attack as well from Steve. Ultimately, Steve is on the older tyre, and Lycorius gets the better exit, allowing him to hold on to P10, and Gunnar makes his way past Steve as well, who's going to lose a few places here by the looks of things. So hard when you're on the more worn tyre. Really not a huge amount you can do as Brian sits fastest lap. There's overtakes going on all over the place, guys. I'd love to show you them all, but I've only got one set of eyes on one screen that I can show you on. So another one, Gaza gets past Clements. Continues to jog down, and Valungus hits the back of Clements. Oh dear. One's on Valungus, I'm afraid. Car behind. Just be careful with the car in front. And Clements round, he's recovered it, but of course they're on the fast part of the circuit where all the drivers around him, of course, have got a much better speed. So he drops in the end to P14 from P7, so it's a big drop of positions due to that spin. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see these guys in the end of this lap. They're struggling so much. Clements and Steve. Steve, of course, now actually ahead of Clements because of that spin. But, let's say in the end of this lap, I wouldn't be surprised to see Clements in the end of this lap because obviously his tyres would be a little bit lit up. But Steve getting past Chris into turn 1. So, look down, and no, Clements has continued on, so he's happy with the tyres still. Once you've made that decision to take a track position and continue on, you kind of have to stick with it, because if you pit now, you're going to be so far behind. So, again, Ronaldo struggling at the same corner again. Doesn't lose a wing this time either, but he's really having problems with that corner. I'm just having a look. Turn 1 to turn 3, I think it is, going into the hairpin turn 4. And that's sort of, I think it's everybody's bane at this track, that corner, but it's definitely one of the difficult corners of the season, as Chris gets a run on D-Bomb, goes to the inside for turn 1. Oh, that's Boulange! That's Boulange! That's our race leader. Spun and round. Now ghosting. He drops to, well, he's recovered in the end in P8, but not the best recovery in the world. And you end up ghosting for another car. But whatever's happened, I don't know whether there was a contact maybe between Brian and Boulange, because Wolfie is taking the lead of this race and has a 1.4 second gap to Brian in P2. I think maybe there may have been some sort of contact between the two. I can't confirm that, obviously, but there may have been. So Monsters now the latest to get past Clements. And Bowden now. As Ronaldo is off track once more. Where is he? Can't see him. He's back in, back on and back going. Time out there. This group here then, Chris P3, on P4, Gaza P5. Again, Chris really found some form, hasn't he? He's always been a good driver. He was a very good driver last year on 22, but I don't know, he just seems quicker to me this year. Genuine podium contender on a regular basis. So, just gonna head down. We've got Valungis, Hunter and Boulange, who's on it up the inside there. Rather silly position to do so. Don't think Hunter, who's the league owner of course, will have appreciated that too much. Guess Boulange may be on a bit of a mission to get back up the field. And so now he goes to the inside of turn 1. So Boulange holds him off on this occasion. Down into the hairpin once more, the banking hairpin. Oh, Hunter runs a bit wide on exit, and that's going to allow Gunnar through. So Gunnar takes advantage and will now try and follow Boulange. And yellow flags are out, and it is a Haas. And it is Ronaldo. Such issues. I wonder if he had more than just front wing damage from that spin that caused the safety car, because having some issues. And is that Crawford? It is Crawford, and it's a safety car. His front wing is gone. Oh, this game is bringing out safety cars for front wings. Please turn it down. The drivers, the leagues are doing everything they can for safety cars to make them only appear when absolutely necessary by setting it to reduced, but the game is just wrong on this. They've got to sort it out. This has ruined so many races. I'm sorry to be saying on a bit of a downer, guys, but it is ruining so many races. Oh, that'll hurt Checo. Picks up 5 seconds, speeding into the pit lane. Looks like he may exit around P18, I think. Oh no, P17 he's going to exit, is Checo. So he may elect to pit again the end of this lap to get rid of the 5 seconds. The only problem for him on that, I'm guessing the hards were supposed to be the tyre he's going to the end of the race on. Opportunity to just get a quick drink. Go. And what we got then? So right, okay, so as we are, Brian leads the race from Whoopi, Gaza P3, Boulange in P4. Those 4 guys have stayed out on hard tyres. I have no idea why Steve is still. What, Steve? What are you doing? You know you got a pit, right? Get under the safety car, dude. He's at the P9, Steve, but he's got a pit. So when he finally has to pit, he does that under race conditions. He's going to drop to the back. I don't know. I don't know what his thinking is on this, to be honest. He needs to pit at the end of this lap. He can't. So Checo does come back in, and he serves his 5 seconds. Makes complete sense to do that. So well done, Checo. I think that's very sensible. It does drop him down to P19. P20, of course, is Ronaldo, who's a lap down. He's behind the safety car. Next to his teammate, I believe, on track, but obviously a lap down. But Checo comes back out. So yeah, he's dropped to P19, but he's now penalty free, which at the moment is incredibly important for this race because everybody is penalty free at this moment in time. So if you're the guy with a penalty at this moment in time, you're in trouble. A little bit of lag there. I hope that doesn't start happening. It's been really good. That's an out. So we are going another lap. It is going to wait for Checo to catch up, unlike Ronaldo on that first one, if you remember, where he just came in and said, well, I'm not going to wait for you. Really unusual. Unless it was because he was the driver which caused the safety car, and that's why the game decided not to wait for him in that first time round. Bowden decides to pit for fresh tyres. I'm a little bit surprised by the top 4. They're going to be under some fire a little bit. They're fast drivers, they're very good drivers, so they've got that in their locker, the fact that they've got those few extra temps up maybe on other drivers in the grid, but only gets you so far. The worn tyres eventually will catch up to you. But it could be very important to have track position from this safety car, because if there is to be one more, it would be in the range of switching to softs to go to the end of the race. So for everyone. So Bowden catching up. He should, well, in fact not should, he will get onto the back of the safety car. The game seems to have predicted that, so it's all in the safety car in, which will allow Bowden to get up very easily. It's quite an early call. Go to the leaders, so it's Brian who's going to lead us away. So Brian leads us away, Whoopi follows. It looks like Gaza may be coming under a little bit of threat from Belange. Belange to the outside of turn 1, but Gaza's... Oh, no, 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 no. Wow. That's poor. That is very, very poor. And I'm afraid that will... Well, Gaza's going to be fuming. You see Ronaldo off there. He's just trying to get out of people's way. Is Ronaldo there? Look, but Gaza's going to be fuming on that one, I'm afraid. And well, I remember I'm only on first initial faults, which, you know, as I've said before, I don't have the benefit of multiple replays like real life commentators do. But, my initial faults are that Belange will be in trouble for that. Can't see any obvious signs of damage on his car, but he is dropping. But mind you, of course, they got the worn tyres, so two guys going past are on fresh mediums. And we've got yellow flags. It appears to be Monsters. It is indeed, and he's lost an M plate, so he will be recovering to the pit lane. So Steve still out there on those 23 lap old hards. No idea what he's still going for on those tyres, but he is still going. He's doing okay, he's P11, but of course we have to pit. This Monster's speeds into the pit lane as well, so picks himself 5 seconds for the trouble. We do have some penalties now. Chris and Dubon both picked up a penalty. I don't know if they picked those penalties up because they were avoiding the crash between Belange and Gaza, so if that's the case, there's a potential they may be able to get it removed if that's the case. So that'll be a decision for stewards. Was D-Bomb getting past Chris? So, hello James. I hope I haven't missed your message by too long, man. I hope you're doing well. Did you watch Carsey's race? How did you get on? Very, very tight here. With the two front runners on those older hard tyres as well. It's going to be difficult for them, but let's see how they do. As we've got... Oh, I think that's Crawford on debut. He's been doing so well. It is his second time round tonight, but the first one was definitely an individual error. I don't know about that one going into turn 1. Could have been the contacts from an overtake, I don't know. But he recovers it. He doesn't appear to have any signs of damage on the front of the car. As Steve finally pits off of the hard tyres, and he is on softs now to the end of this race. D-Bomb gets past Whoopi. And these fresher tyre guys are hunting down now. It's not just park for the Velociraptors or something. Belange is spun in the right-left. Man, he may be driving a little bit deflated at this point. He makes his way to the pits. He comes and retires out of the race. Gunnar gets past Whoopi. And I think the reality now, this is the sort of time when Whoopi will look up, he will sort of say to himself, right, I've got 1.4 to Hunter behind, but ultimately it's this moment where you sort of think, oh, have I done the right thing by staying out? Maybe I should have pitted. He puts himself up a penalty. Delange's car is making its way to the end of the pit lane to come back out, but there you go. Right, James, okay. Well, we've had 2 safety cars. We've not done... In all fairness, the driving tonight has been outstanding. Yeah, there's been 1 or 2 little moments, but nothing to write home about. The 2 safety cars that have come out are just ridiculous. They didn't need to come out at all. They were just drivers losing a wing. So, and it literally, a driver loses a wing and it sends the safety car out immediately, and it's just... And it is on reduced, I promise you. I did check. So, but yeah, it's unfortunately, I was saying earlier in the stream, it's ruining races at the moment, and it's a shame, because this race, without a doubt, should be safety car free. And apart from 2 little moments in this race so far, the standard of the driving has been outstanding. So it just puts a little black mark on the race as a whole, which these guys don't deserve. So we just had a little yellow flag there, although I have absolutely no idea why. The only thing I'm finding doing comms with this game, the yellow flags and sometimes the crash cars, they disappear so fast that you completely miss who it was or where it was. Bowden's just lost out to Checo there, but right on the gearbox. This Lycorius is going to end up in the middle of all of this, and as Bowden goes into turn 1, he's overshot it a little bit. It looked like Checo tried to come back on a sort of switchback, but I think he might have touched the curb on the inside and unsettled the car a little bit. But Lycorius not able to take advantage of that and go back past. So Bowden in the end ends up in P10. They basically swapped positions, aren't they, the Ferraris? So it was Lycorius in 10, Bowden in 12, but now it's Bowden in 10 and Lycorius in 12. Hunter, by the way, has caught Whoopi. Gets a little out of sorts. There is a DRS zone here, with Hunter being right on the gearbox, I think, and Whoopi getting out of sorts on the exit. They'll allow Hunter through and up into P5. Good to see Hunter up there having a good race today. He's let's just say that he has a little moment, but that's just going to allow Whoopi back through. But ultimately, with those tyres, you would think that at some point Hunter will get back past again. But, yeah, no, it's good to see him having a good race today, Hunter. Really pleased to see that. As Brian is struggling a little bit now. Look, he's lost the lead to D-Bomb. Although D-Bomb has a penalty, but it's going to be difficult, you would think, for Brian to hold in there. And he's going to have Gunnar on the back of him on softs as well. As I think Steve's had an incident. He has. He's gone off at the right-left in sector 3. First glance, it looks like he has. He's got his whole front wing there, so should just continue on. Needs to be a little bit careful, because he's had a trip. Now he hasn't got his whole front wing. He's lost the left end plate that time. Yeah, just needed to be a bit careful. He'd been across the gravel, so his tyres would have been heated right up, and hence why the car looked like it didn't want to stop, because that's the effect that has on it. So here is Gunnar then. Here he goes on Brian. There's nothing Brian can do. Gunnar has that place. Brian is going to come under attack from Chris. He want to get past as soon as he can. He needs some... Oh, Gunnar has a little mistake in the right hander before the hairpin. Brian looks to see if he can get back past. These two will know each other very, very well from racing in ARC for a long time together. But, Brian back through then. So I don't want to do too much about these two. Ultimately, they're now sandwiched between two guys with penalties. So the last thing Brian and Gunnar want to do is battle each other too much. Oh, we're going to have a safety car. Chips is out. Over on the left-hand side there. It's on this right-left again. It's right going into the hairpin. It's a nightmare corner. It really is. And it's affecting people left, right and centre as Lungus has to basically come to a stop so as not to exceed Delta. Gaza accidentally goes past him and has to give it straight back. But presumably would have been over his Delta as well, so the last thing you want now is a drive through. Well, it's going to give Steve the opportunity to catch back up to the back of the pack. Unfortunately for Ronaldo, he is still a lap behind. And here we go then, Pitters. Brian is in, Hunter is in. Would that mean that McLaren's must have double stacked, I think? Yeah, Lycorius has gotten ahead of Hunter. Oh no, sorry, my apologies. Lycorius has stayed out of track. So somehow, actually, McLaren's have ended up coming out hits one after the other, but unusual. So maybe they were just about separated by enough. But anyway, D-Bomb stays out, Gunnar stays out, Chris. Well, these guys that have stayed, I mean, can't blame Corey or Clements. They've just made up an absolute mass of places. And Craig, sorry. So these guys are suddenly in with a chance of really decent points today. They're going to come under fire. They know that. They're definitely going to come under fire from the guys that are switching to the softs. The guys switching to the softs, it's where you've got to be careful in a race. You can't, ultimately, just because you're faster than the car's head, you can't just barge your way past them. You've got to make your moves safely and calmly. So, fairly in the biggest point. So, yeah, so on the better tires than that, you've still got to get the moves done correctly. So, obviously, D-Bomb and Chris would not have wanted this at all. They're going to be a little bit slow on their tyres, and they've got penalties, so they know, I would imagine, that, well, certainly Chris is going to know that a podium now today is going to be very, very difficult. And I suspect it will be very difficult for D-Bomb as well, but he's got the better chance, of course, being in P1 currently. Gunnar could be looking good for the race win, with there being 5 places between him and the nearest fresh tyre driver. I assume we're going to have 4 laps racing. It's Whoopi just pitted, so he's dropped to P14 all of a sudden. So, oh, day turns. What was a reasonable day for Mercedes has just gone really bad all of a sudden, as they're now P13 and 14. And Steve finds himself behind Ronaldo, so Steve must be a lap down. Yeah, there's Ronaldo, as you can see, in amongst the cars of the safety car, and Steve is now behind him. So how quickly Steve's race went from going quite nicely to really disappearing. Chips despises this track. I've grown to love it a little bit, Chips, I have to admit. I've grown to love this one a little bit. We'll be starting this lap. So it's going to be 33, 34, 35 and 36. So sorry, 4 race laps remaining. Yeah, James, 12 lap old soft. Yeah, but he's got that 5 place difference. Obviously it's going to depend just how hard the guys fight Brian, to be honest, isn't it? As we get going again. He's got a lot of cover, so we know that. Brian, the time I've watched him, he's always been a good driver in the sense that he doesn't just throw it sort of up the inside at any corner. He does wait normally for the good opportunities. He can be aggressive when he does make overtakes, but he does normally wait for good opportunities. That's always one of them just there. That's a decent move, and into P6. That is an Aston Martin. I'm sorry to say, I think that's Crawford again. Yeah, he's done well on debut, to be fair. His position's not really going to relate, or, you know, it's not really going to be fair to him in a sense on the way he's actually driven and qualified. He's driven well tonight, it's Crawford. He's just a few little mistakes, which can obviously cause you problems. What I don't know is on the 3 mistakes is whether they've had another driver involved at any point. Anyway, let's go back to Brian, and which is fight through the field. So he's now past Clements. He's up to P5. Craig will be next, as one of the laps is now finished. That'll do it, Chips. That will do it, mate. It's horribly part of the circuit there. Brian quite literally passes Craig on the straight, almost like he's not there. That's how much extra grip he's got. Straight line speed is phenomenal because of it, as it looks like Steve's had a little mishap coming out of the hairpin this time, as he fights Ronaldo for that 17th spot. It's the best those two could do this evening now. Whoopi making his way through the field, and Checo, well, he's trying at least. He's nipped down to that, that's obviously very close. As they head into the right-left. This will be the second lap down for Brian in his hunt to try and win this race. Obviously, he has to get past Steve again in this round. Oh, and there's contact between Volungis and Checo, and that spins them both. They resume in P14 and 15, but that hurts their races. Let's get back up as the action continues for the win here. Chris doing his absolute best to fight off Brian, but ultimately Chris has got a penalty, so I doubt really he's going to want to battle. Well, I was going to say I don't doubt really he's going to want to battle too much, but looking at what we've just seen there, he's looking feisty. Very feisty is Chris. So Brian looking to see if he can get the same move done here as he did earlier, but as Steve retires out in the pit lane. He's going to get a good exit here, Brian, and with the DRS, he's going to take P3. So it's now Gunnar versus Brian, effectively, to win this race. Gunnar has the car ahead of him, so Gunnar at least does have DRS. Something. Oh, he's gone a little bit out of sorts there, Gunnar. He just got a bit out of sorts, but he looks to have better straight line speed than the McLaren. So into turn 1, which could be the all-important part. Oh, he's picked up. Sorry, I've just noticed Gunnar's picked up a penalty. So where he got out of shape there, presumably picked up. Oh, careful, you! No! You're kidding. Oh, you're kidding me. Brian ends up round. Contact with Gunnar, I believe. There was a bit of lag going on my screen at the same time as that happened, but it did look to me like there was contact with Gunnar, and that has spun him round. So look, he's going to win this race now from absolutely nowhere. It looks like the young Ferrari driver, Bowden, is somehow going to take a victory here. Pops that line, I know James, right at that moment. Right, D-Bomb's going to cross the line first, but obviously has the penalty. Gunnar crosses line P2, Bowden is promoted to P1, Clements P2, Hunter gets P3, Gunnar drops to 4, Craig to 5, D-Bomb to 6, Chris 7, Gaz at 8, Corey 9, like Corey is 10, Checo 11, Crawford 12, Whoopi 13, Monsters 14. Oh, hang on, there's some penalty stuff going on. Whoopi, what have you done? Oh, whoopee. Right, that last be sorted out after the race. But for now, Checo P11, Crawford 12, Brian 13, and Brian, I was on you watching it, but the bloody thing lagged right when it all happened. And it looked like you were okay, and then all of a sudden the lag stopped and you were spinning around, and I was like, oh my god, what's happened? But obviously, the rules, Brian. It's just and if you feel like Gunar's done something wrong, obviously make sure you submit it. Surprise! I was a little surprised, if I'm honest, mate. That he was going for the overtake. You didn't need to, so I was a little surprised you were going for it. But there we go. Yeah, but I thought I saw you finish, so yeah, but it's because you left. Do try not to do that, because obviously it's just a bit confusing for the guys doing the standings, I guess. I nearly did it myself last night when I was racing, but just about remembered before I pressed the button. So anyway, Bowden wins. Kemmons P2. Let me get those guys in. So Bowden, Kemmons, Hunter. Hunter P3, Gunnar 4, Craig 5, D-Bomb 6, Chris 7, Gaza an 8, Corey 9. Gaza took the fastest lap as well, by the way, with a 1:11.342. Lycorius in 10, Checo 11, Crawford 12, Brian in 13 in the end, Monsters 14, Valungas 15, Whoopi 16. That's not quite right, actually. Whoopi's somewhere else further up. Game retired him after he left. Ronaldo 17, and our three non-finishers are Steve, Chips, and Boulange, who are 18, 19, and 20. Steve has been classified as +3 laps in P18. There we have it. Quickly scroll through instances, not very many of them at all tonight, but there we go. Right, have you all joined? You have. Excellent. Lovely. Yes. What is that then? I'm not too sure if Kemmons has joined, to be honest. I don't think he... Kemmons was... You got 1. Kemmons was 2. Hunter was 3. I've just invited Hunter again. But, alright, well... While we're waiting for them... Oh, here's Hunter, actually, so there we go. Excellent. I don't think Kemmons will join, to be honest, so I shouldn't worry too much about it. Hunter's invited me to play F1-23. Thank you,
Hunter. Yeah, I'm supposed to include audio.
Right, so have you both included your audio? You've ticked the box.
Yes.
No.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Right. Okay, so we've just got the two of you. So Hunter, P3 tonight. Obviously on the penalty. Well, it's all penalty count back for the top 3, but well done, mate. You drove well tonight. And I mentioned it about halfway through. Well, no, probably about 2/3 of the way through that you were having a really good race tonight.
Yeah, to see where I qualified, I was quite happy we are.
Yeah. So yeah, take us through it, mate, and just what's your feelings on it?
I don't know, really. I think I just got lucky with safety cars more than out. Started on softs, just trying. Well, I gained, I think 4 or 5 positions in the first couple of laps by starting on softs. Then lap 10, safety car come out. I was hoping to stretch the softs out to lap 15 and jump on mediums, but obviously that didn't go to plan. So
yeah,
jumped onto hards to finish race. Then safety car come out, so I jumped on mediums, and I really wish I hadn't pitted with that last safety car, but I did.
Yeah, it's difficult with the safety cars knowing whether to pit or not. But tonight it did seem like the right thing to do was to pit. For all the safety cars, the ones that were the people that stayed out on any of the safety cars just got absolutely swallowed up so fast.
Yeah.
So
it was just that last safety car with 4 or 5 laps to go. I probably should have stayed out. My mediums weren't that old, but Here's what it
Yeah.
is.
Well, you've ended up, you certainly can't moan. You've ended up with a podium, so it's all worked out really. Um, Obviously, not good to see your new teammate at the end dropping down after the some contact, but
I didn't
um,
see what happened. I just missed it.
right, yeah. On the stream, unfortunately, it decided to have a lag right at the time where there was some contact for me. Um, but yeah, Brian and Gunnar had some contact at the end there, but I didn't see it properly to be able to make any real comment on it, so it has to be dealt with by the stewards as usual in a way. But yeah, well done tonight, mate. And I guess though, even though Brian's not come away with the win like it was looking like he was going to from McLaren, you've clearly got a very good teammate with you for hopefully the rest of the season.
Yeah, yeah, hopefully. Yeah, shame
Definitely.
about Massey, but yeah,
Yeah. But
yeah.
you've got a very quick replacement as well, though. So, um, yeah, not bad. Okay, on to Bowden then. Bowden, you've won again.
Yes.
You've done it again.
Yep.
Um, well done, mate. There was a moment there I was watching you. You had a little bit of a freeway battle going on for a P10 with your teammate, and
Mm.
I think it was a Red Bull. I'm not sure. It's I don't know, but it was
Yeah, it
there
was
was.
Checo.
Yeah, that's right, Checo. Yeah, it was the
Yeah.
Red Bulls. So, yeah. So I was watching you at that moment. Never thought for
Mm.
1 second at that point in the race that I'd be speaking to you as the winner, come the ends. But no, fair play. You've kept it. You've stayed penalty free, um,
Mm.
which again is proven to be so important, especially around a track like this where it could be safety cars any moment.
Mm.
Take us through it, mate.
Well, at first I got tagged in the rear by Grove, which kind of sent me spinning, and I got damage on my front wing. And then I pitted, got a 5 second time penalty, and then the safety car came out. I didn't pit, and then I got hit again by Checo, which sent me spinning again. So after the second safety car, I pitted again for mediums, and then when the safety car happened, Kroof like brake checked me a little bit, and I lost my wing again, so I had to pit, get a new wing, and go on scrub mediums, and then another safety car, and then I pitted for a soft because might as well, and then yeah, it all just happened. I went from last to first pretty much.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So yeah, and you've used all the tyres, I think, and
Mm.
it's yeah, it was a strange old race. It was a really good race
Yep.
to watch. There was plenty good overtaking going on throughout. There was good battles. There was a couple of little silly moments in there from drivers, but nothing
Mm.
sort of massive to write home about. And but yeah, but it was a good race. Unfortunately, the safety car was just coming out for anything.
Yep.
Literally, so somebody got a scratch on the front wing and it comes out. It's, but no, well, no, it came out when people lost the front wings. Nobody actually retired. Or sorry, Chips did retire. But it's I think unfortunately if it keeps doing that, if they don't sort that out, it could potentially ruin a lot of races. I think.
Mm.
So yeah, well, let's see how it goes anyway. But well done to the pair of you. Well done to Kemments as well. If he does listen to this, then fair play to him as well for P2. Um, I hadn't even considered a driver of the day from my side of things. But I have to say, I think I'm probably most likely to go with you, Hunter, on this one today. But yeah, I'll confirm my vote in the Discord channel in a way. But yeah, I think that was you'd probably be my choice. I think that's fair. In a way, regardless of all that, thank you very much to everybody that's watched along with me and made comments and that. Thanks to everybody that's watches it back at a later point. I really appreciate it, and as do all the leagues that I do the commentary for. So thank you very much to all of you. HRF1 will be back tomorrow night, hopefully with Steve doing the commentary tomorrow night. And you may even, if the will is in my favour, you may even see me on track. So see you then, hopefully. Other than that, I will be back on Tuesday night for WAOF1 at 8 o'clock. And so I will see you then. Good night, God bless, and enjoy what a very little bit that's left of the weekends.